trail we built on our land. And you access it through this gate, and obviously there's just a beautiful view all the way around in our pasture. It's just amazing. So we're going to access the gate and show you what our trail looks like. So you can follow the fence line, or we kind of weed whacked this area where you can get down to the trail. We're going to access a trail from the west side of our pasture or property. You can also access it from the east side, which if you had horses, that's the way I would go. When I had my horse that was a trail rider, I would saddle him up over there on the east side, and we'd access the trail that way. But for ease, I'm going to just take you on the trail this way. So anyways, as you can see, we're walking down here. This is just like a connecting part. There's a lot of little miscellaneous trails that connect all the trails just to make it easier. So off to the right, if you go that way, it's kind of the upper trail. And if you take this little connecting trail, it gets you down to the middle trail. But we're just going to stay on this bit here, and we're going to start out with the perimeter trail. And then we could have also just followed along the fence, and that would have gotten us to the perimeter trail. So here we go. And the perimeter trail pretty much follows the perimeter with a little bit of a divergence, but you can see my horse poo right there. So my horses love going on this trail. So here we go. We're following along. This is the perimeter trail. You can see the view. It's beautiful. The flowers haven't come out yet. The wildflowers, you can see these are going to be all the bulbs that will come out eventually, but it's still mid-March, and so we have to patiently wait. But I'm guessing just in a few weeks we should probably start seeing some more wildflowers. So right here is how you would access a different trail, but we're gonna continue on the perimeter trail. All these plants right here are all bulbs. They're going to be wildflowers. So we walk the perimeter trail a lot, especially with our dogs. Our dogs love it. So it is very well established, and it's really easy to maintain. So again, right here, we're going to access another trail, but we're not going to go that way. We're staying on the perimeter trail. And now we're at the northwest corner of the property. And so we used to follow, the trail used to be straight ahead, but we got rid of that part and we added this instead. Over the years, we built this trail. We started building it in 2007 because we wanted to access the property, see all the wildflowers, and just be able to hike it. So that's how we did this. So we're coming up on my horse's favorite area because it's very cool here and shady. In fact, I used to have a llama and a ram, and at the end I'll show pictures of them down in this area. We call it the holler. I also made a wildlife video here where you can see deer, raccoon, all different types of wildlife, even hawks that come to this area because of that tree. And right here is where we put the game camera. Mounted it there, and it was some pretty neat results. So you'll see my animals and my horses just hanging out here, but we're going to continue up. Like I said, there's many different cutoffs. So this is another trail that you can take if you wanted to do a cutoff and do a shorter trail and loop back to the house so you don't have a lot of time. So we're going to continue here. A lot of native vegetation. This is toyon right here. It's a native plant, and some coyote bush and some oaks. And that guy is going to be a beautiful flower. Pink flowers called checker mallow. But again, too early for the wildflowers. So now we're back on to the fence line. And we're going to continue here. I'm probably going to fast forward this when I make a video of it because I think it might be boring and it takes a while. It's a pretty big trail. There's a beautiful black oak right here. It's kind of our little black oak area. Love it. And then we're going to come across some manzanitas as well. Black oak area. It's about noon right now, so the sun is overhead. But this is all shaded during the afternoon, which is nice. So when it starts to warm up, it's the perimeter trail that we tend to use during the summer. Same thing with the lower trail, which we will go on as well. So we're approaching a creek right now, a little runoff from our pond. It will have water in it starting around April 15th, maybe a day before that. It's when NID actually starts giving us water. So the overflow of our pond will then drain here and it will eventually drain into Deer Creek. And it's a really essential drainage for wildlife. So we keep it going. Any of the excess water that we have, we allow it to flow down here. And you can see there's some blackberries, which are tasty when you're on the trail. So again, right here, we're at the bottom. This is where the water will drain. It's only, a 1.5 feet across, and it's not very deep at all. And then you continue uphill. And now we're approaching the northeast corner of the property. And then we're going to follow up here. And continue on the trail. And this is going to be this whole field right here next to the trail is all going to be wildflowers. You can already see there's some irises right now. But there's going to be a lot more. But we're going to continue on the trail. It's very green and luscious right now. Horses love coming out here because of all the wonderful grass. And if you look out here, our house is, I don't know if you can see it in this video, but it's way up there. So we decided to build this trail system just so we can access all the property, see the various types of wildflower. And so it's just great exercise. And the dogs love it if you have dogs. I've made several videos with our shelter dogs that we foster. We've taken them on this trail and they've had the time of their life with our dogs. So we're approaching another split where if you continue straight, that's the perimeter trail, and you'll go up to what I call the contemplation garden. It's has decorative fencing, and there's various wildflowers that I've planted in there, some native even. And so it's quite lovely. And there's a bench there that you could sit and just look at the beautiful view. So I'll show you this. We're not actually going to go all the way up it because I want to show you all the other trails, and this is going to be a really long video. It already is pretty long. So here's a cutoff that goes through the Blackberry Tunnel, and we'll revisit it. There's two ways of accessing it. But if we continue straight ahead, we'll actually eventually get to the contemplation garden. In fact, let me go up just a little more. Normally, if we're going to go to the contemplation garden, we just walk. We exit the gate and we make a right towards the horse facilities. But this is a alternate way of doing it. A lot longer. So I need to do a little weeding in the contemplation garden. But there you have it, coming up on it with the decorative fence. And we really have been changing it over to native plants so we don't have to water it as much. And my ugly bucket that's there, but let's see. The sun's kind of making it hard to see it. But you can see it's fence. It's a sunny area. It allows me to grow wildflowers. And there's a bench there, and the bench looks out at that, which is amazing. So, all right, well, we're gonna continue. Instead of going that area that I just walked, I'm gonna come over here, and this is another area that's right off our pond that you can also walk, that we keep weed whacked. And it basically follows along the drainage here. And it's a shortcut of accessing the blackberry tunnel, which is still a little dormant. The blackberries are starting to come alive right now, but you can tell they're a little bit brown still. They'll become a lot more lush once the water gets turned on April 15th. So here's another crossing of the creek. This is not one that we're going to take right now. That crossing is associated with what I call the upper trail, which is a very sunny trail. I typically only use it if it's cool, like right now, or during the late fall, winter. That's a fine time. During the summer, if it's late at night, then I don't mind walking that. But so it's a lot of just pick, because there's a lot of different trails, like I said, that we've done. A lot of cutoffs. If you want to shorten the trail or make them longer, you can do that as well. Okay, so this is where I told you, oh, okay, you can come in here to the blackberry tunnel. And this is the blackberry tunnel. Hopefully you can see it. The sunlight's kind of making things difficult, and it will become very, very lush once this creek right here starts to flow. But it's not flowing quite yet, as I already mentioned. And then I come across here. I like this. So in this spot right here, you have two choices. If you go off to the left, that is the middle trail. And the middle trail has some zigzags. If you go off to the right here, this is the lower trail. Lower trail follows along blackberries at first. And I really like this trail because it has some really unique plants on it. Tons of wildflowers, including twining snake lily and fairy lanterns. All of them are bulbs, and they're really awesome looking. Of course, they're not up right now, but I'm going to make a video showing the various wildflower photos that I've taken on our land, and it will show those. But anyway, so we're following the lower trail right now. It's just a really nice trail. And you do have to maintain it every now and then. These blackberries, once they start really growing and get out of dormancy, they're going to want to, every now and then, point out towards the trail. And I just bring little hand clippers and every now and then keep them trimmed down. So I don't know if you can see it off to the right here. It's kind of crossing the trail here, this tree here. That's actually our Sierra plum tree. My dogs love these plums, so do I. They're quite tasty. They're very good for wildlife, and it's actually a native plum. And they're cute little purple plums, and they're quite tasty. So yeah, it's one of my favorite native trees. As you can see, it's not a huge tree, but it is. It's big, nothing like an oak, and it provides a lot of food for wildlife, and well, for me too, because I find them super tasty. So here we go, and we're coming across another drainage, and this drainage here really only flows during the winter time. When we get heavy rains, it will flow down here, so it's really just a dry drainage during the summer, unlike the other one. The other one will be wet during the summer. Follow along the trail here, and eventually we'll get to one of my other favorite plants, and that is, everyone knows about the monarch butterflies. We have heartleaf milkweed on our property, which is a gorgeous plant, and it's actually barely starting to peek its head. So you get to see the plant, but you won't get to see the flower. But again, I'm going to make a video that shows some of the flowers on the property. All right, so we're coming up on another split. This split is just an extra bit of the trail if you want to take it. It goes to a rocky outcrop area to the right here. I'm not going to go down it, but has beautiful rocks and stuff. But instead, we're going to stay on what I call the lower trail, and we're going to continue with it. These are all going to be wildflowers, morning glories, really beautiful. We have Ceanothus lemoni here, which will produce, oh, it's already in bloom here. Let me see. Bring it up on it. See these purple flowers? That's Ceanothus lemoni, native Ceanothus, quite beautiful. Wonderful. So things are starting to push out. And there's another wildflower. You'll have to look at the wildflower video I'm going to make. I can't remember its name, but it's quite a lovely plant that's also on this trail. So continuing on the trail here. And so here's a situation where everything's so green, so it could be a little hard to see. Right here off the left, you can join up to the middle trail if you want, but we're going to stay to the right, and this will allow us to continue on the lower trail. Beautiful manzanita. Again, some more of those irises. And I ID'd these. I'll have pictures of them, and I can't remember what they are, but every year they come back to the base of this oak tree, and they're just cool. It's a cool plant. Again, I can't remember its name, but we'll show it to you in the wildflower video that we're making. So continuing on this trail, it's just such a fun thing to do, to make your land usable. It took us a lot of time. We started out, like I said, in 2007, and we continuously add to it just for our own fun, because nothing like having your own trail. We go off to the left here, you can link up to the middle trail and actually go up to the house if you want. But we're going to continue here on the lower trail because I want to show you this beautiful plant. It is my most favorite plant on the property, and there's 4 of them here, but this is what I call the mother plant, and it's still in the growing process. But this beloved thing is heartleaf milkweed, and of course it is the monarch plant, and you should see the flowers once they bloom. They're just gorgeous. It's just a wonderful plant. Now it does die back in the summer and it disappears, so people might think, oh, it's dead. It's not. Every spring it will pop back up, and there she is. She's not an annual. It's still alive. It's just dormant underground like a lot of our natives do. That's kind of cool. Heartleaf milkweed. Okay, continuing on the lower trail. Again, this will be full of wildflowers. That's all mallow in there. Checker mallow. So it'll be these pinkish color flowers. We'll have irises, blue-eyed grass, so many other things. Actually, there's a blue-eyed grass that's starting to pop right now. You can see that's a blue-eyed grass right there. It's a beautiful grass. And there's just going to be a whole bunch of them. You can see there's other ones coming out. So things are starting to come alive. It always comes out in different sequences. Starts out with the irises and then the blue-eyed grass, and then other things will start popping, which is pretty cool. So you get a lot of wildflowers throughout the year. Okay, so here we come. If we make a right, we'll join up on the perimeter trail by all this checkered mallow, pink flowers to come. Instead, we're going to go left. So we're walking essentially back up the perimeter trail. We're going to link on to what I call the middle trail. And then we're not going to do the upper trail today, just because this video is getting super long. And there's a lot of zigzagging trails that we're not going to do as well, like that one I told you with the outcrop. So right here, that lovely plant that's crossing the trail is our native honeysuckle. It's a vine. I should cut it, but I really like the plant, so I'm not going to. So let's continue on with the middle trail. And so see, when little honeysuckles like this cross the trail, you either trim them or move them off the trail so we can maintain the trail. So it is a matter of not constantly, like at least during the summer or springtime, grow 2 or 3 times, trimming some things to keep it looking cool. This beautiful plant, let's see if I can get in the shade, is coffeeberry. It will have so many bees when it blooms. It's just a lovely plant, smells super good, and it will have berries too, little dark berries. Native plant. You can see some flowers that are trying to bloom here, but not quite ready. And this is a cutoff. And I haven't weed whacked because I really love the soap plant. Tons of soap plant here, and I don't want to cut it. So, oops, hope I didn't make you dizzy there. Continuing on the middle trail, there's that cutoff again. So basically we're zigzagging the property is what we ended up doing to make these trails, but we make it kind of fun. Oh, here's a wildflower that's going to be peeking up soon, isn't it? Lovely. Lovely. Have so many of them. So I don't bring a lot of these wildflowers like the trail because it is it makes it so they don't have to compete against the grasses and the other things. So by disturbing the trail, we end up with all these wildflowers on it. And so I'll probably do a light weed whack after the wildflowers die. They're bulbs, a lot of them. So once the stem goes dry, they're still alive. They just go dormant under the ground like the heartleaf milkweed. So it's okay to do that. And spread the seeds. Again, I just love those irises. They're all starting to pop open. They're such a pretty plant. Okay, let's continue. And as you can see, when you start to get up on this trail, you have the beautiful views all along this trail. So it's a nice view. It's kind of an easy trail. Not too many hills. So far it's been relatively flat. Right. And this is another patch that I never really weed whacked because it's just covered in wildflowers. All those little grass looking things, or try not to step on them. Actually, I'm going to walk way over here because they're all wildflowers. Just don't have the heart. And there'll be so much, like, well, look at the wildflower video. There'll be so many wildflowers here once everything blooms. Again, you're looking at just the beautiful view as you're walking. So, continuing on, middle trail. So we're going to come up here on a cutoff that will lead you eventually to the upper trail. So you can take this little cutoff here, and you can see the little stem there. It will loop around and it will take you to that second crossing of the creek. Or you can continue this way down into this drainage, which we're doing. So we're still on the middle trail. And then you might recall where I said if you go to the right, you go to the lower trail. If you go to the left, it's the middle trail. If we were to continue straight, that's where it is. The same right down here. You can't see the Blackberry Tunnel, but to the right there is the Blackberry Tunnel. So instead, we're going to make this little turn up here. It's a little cutoff that allows you to access the upper trail. Upper trail. You can access the upper trail in many other ways. It's a very flat trail, has nice views, also really beautiful wildflowers. Unfortunately, the red buds, which are right here, you probably can't see because of the sun. I'll turn the camera around. Just got done blooming. But they are just a pink, beautiful thing. Those of you that know red blood. It's actually our chapter, our native plant chapter here. It's called Red Bud. So this is just a little cutoff that I'm taking. So it brings you up here to my round pen. So there's my little horsey in the round pen. Hi, buddy. Hi, Tejas. And the pagoda and the donkey. Oops. There's the pagoda. And then the pond will be there, which you can't see because that's the dam. So if we were to go this way, we were to do another crossing the creek, or we can follow here. And as you can see, up there is that other trail that I was talking about. I hope I'm pointing at it. I can't tell because of the sun. But that's the top trail. Right now we're just on the upper trail. And these are all going to be wildflowers. Beautiful. And we're going to come across my second favorite plant. It's not witch hate. What is it called? I can't remember what it's called either. So again, you'll have to look at the wildflower. Actually, never mind. It's on the upper trail. So we're on, not the upper trail. It's on the top trail. So even I get confused, these names, right? Oh, here we go. We've got some of the bulbs starting to bloom here. I think this has got to be one of my first ones that's blooming. Again, the upper trail is just this trail is just gonna keep, I'm cheating right now, following that way, coming up here. This is the top trail. It's just where all that's a red bud, and it's where you can see all the beautiful views. We used to have a bench out here, which we should probably get another one. But here's my other plant. It is still dormant. It's barely starting to leaf out. It has purple flowers, purple and yellow, and I can't remember the name of it either. I don't know what's going on with me today, but I'll show you pictures of it in the wildflower video. So again, this might be the way you would go if you were getting your horses. I would probably just go around to the far east side perimeter trail where I would take my horses. My donkey has been in there numerous times on the trail. And if you stay tuned to the last part of this video, I will add some photos of critters on the trail. And I will also show you them in the pond as well, which is right behind them. That's actually a willow tree on the pond, and the barn, which is a 20 by 40 foot structure. And then of course our house is right up here. All right, thank you for watching. Ciao.